Hello and welcome to Channel 1 Local. I'm your host, Brian Christopher, and I would like to thank you for joining me for this episode. Today we're going to dive into a topic where AI is actually landing in finance. What if I told you that one bank's AI assistant handled 676 million conversations with customer service last year, and 98% of them got exactly what they needed in under a minute? Now that's not coming. That's happened already. It's happening right now. Everyone's talking about AI and finance, but today we're cutting through the noise. No announcements, no press release promising the moon, just the hard numbers on where AI is actually deployed, working, and changing how money has been moving since 2024 up to the current date of today in 2025. The scale of deployment. AI adoption is hitting critical mass. 78% of all organizations now use AI, and up to 20%, that's up from 20% in 2017. And 91% of bank boards have formally approved Gen AI programs. So what does this mean? We've crossed from experimental into operational. Banks aren't testing anymore. They're deploying at scale. The question isn't, will banks use AI? It's who's using it best. Bank of America's Erica, the benchmark standard, surpassed 2.5 billion total interactions by early this year of 2025. With that 676 million interactions, nearly 20 million clients now use the assistant regularly, with over 98% finding what they need in under that minute of average. So why does this matter? This isn't a chatbot handling simple queries. It's mission control for customer finances. Erica can monitor subscriptions, track spending patterns, alert on deposits and refunds. More importantly, it works. 98% success rate means customers trust it. The assistant has been trained on millions of questions with a library of 700 plus responses, receiving over 75,000 updates since launch. The business impact: Erica for employees reduced AI service desk calls by 50%, with over 90% of Bank of America's employees now using the internal version. That's not just customer service, that's operational efficiency at mass. So let's talk about fraud detection, where money really is. The fraud crisis driving AI adoption in banks. 79% of companies experience attempted or actual payment fraud back in 2024, jumping from 65% just 2 years earlier, according to the 2025 AFP Payments Fraud and Control Survey. AI solutions, contemporary AI-powered fraud detection systems, achieve detection rates of 94% while reducing false positives by 40 to 60% compared to traditional rule-based methods. Real-world deployments and fraud fighting. Everyone should know of this company, JP Chase. They've applied the SHAP-based models, SHAP-based models, to ensure its transaction surveillance system delivers traceable logic for compliance officers. They're not just catching fraud, they're explaining how they caught it for the regulators. This is critical. AI has to be explainable in banking. It can't be just a black box. And everyone should know of this company, MasterCard. MasterCard's voice scam detection. They've deployed a RAG-enabled voice scam system, RAG-enabled detection system as of 2025, and it's achieving 300% boost in fraud detection rates. This tackles deepfake scams, where criminals use AI-generated voices to impersonate executives. Fighting AI-embedded fraud requires AI-enabled defense, and everybody should be aware of this institution as well. The first Abu Dhabi bank in the Gulf introduced fraud detection technology and compliance with local regulatory requirements for interoperability while maintaining detection performance. So the human element, banks are using human-in-the-loop approaches. AI flags suspicious activity in real time, and human compliance officers make final decisions. This balance speed and capability. So let's talk about operational efficiency. Beyond customer service, internal AI deployment. Everyone knows Wells Fargo Enterprise AI Push. has created a dedicated AI lead position as of November of 2024. The CEO announcing they've trained over 90,000 employees and deployed AI tools to over 180,000 desktops. Here's what they're using it for: robotic process automation, machine learning for risk assessment, and AI for employee productivity, and more. And everyone knows of this company, I'm sure, Citigroup. Citigroup's CEO Jane Fraser revealed in October that AI implementation generated 100,000 hours of weekly capacity for software developers, with nearly 180,000 employees across 83 countries now having access to internal AI platforms. The breakdown of this: 100,000 hours per week equals the equivalent of 2,500 full-time employees. That is absolutely astonishing. That's not replacing people. It's letting them focus on complex problems instead of repetitive tasks. Mandatory AI training for most of the workforce shows this isn't optional anymore. Bank of America's Ask Merrill and Ask Private Bank tools for wealth management teams logged approximately 23 million interactions in 2024, helping advisors proactively connect with clients about relevant opportunities. Why this matters: high net worth clients are getting AI enhanced services. Financial advisors aren't being replaced, they're being supercharged. AI curates information so advisors can focus on relationships and strategy. Let's talk about bank versus fintech and its divide. The two different strategies emerging. Traditional banks, cautious and controlled. Traditional financial institutions prioritize internal applications of AI before rollout to customer, with a measured approach that follows a progression from education and proofs of concept to building enterprise platforms and production deployment, which is now taking place in 2025. Strategy characteristics of that: human oversight mandatory, that human in the loop, regulatory compliance first, test internally before customers roll out, and focused on deterministic AI, not generative AI, no hallucinations allowed. And touching on that fintech, moving faster, more customer-facing. Fintech companies like Public, Acorns, and Cooper Banking are moving more quickly to implement customer-facing AI applications focused on wealth management, financial guidance, and tax planning. Why the difference? Banks can't afford to be wrong. Regulatory scrutiny is intense. Fintechs have less legacy infrastructure to work around. Both approaches are working, just serving different risk tolerances. So here's what we need to know as of now in 2025, December of 2025, before we transition into 2026. AI in banking isn't coming. It's already here. Hundreds of millions of customers interact daily. Fraud detection that's 300% more effective. Entire development teams freed up for strategic work. But here's what we haven't talked about today: how AI is actually integrating with blockchain and the infrastructure. What happens when smart contracts meet machine learning? How DeFi protocols are using AI for predictive analytics. So in the upcoming episode, Blockchain Meets AI, the Technical Reality, we're going to do a deeper dive and discuss AI in traditional banking and how it is not separate from blockchain and its convergence. We're going to talk about which blockchain protocols are implementing AI for security, how AI is optimizing transactions and fees and routing, why major institutions are building AI-enabled smart contracts, and much more. So if you're interested in these topics of special interest, stay tuned, because we have a lot more information to come. This is where it gets interesting. So until next time, I'm your host, Brian Christopher. Take care.